So online we have a translator?
Yes, Mario.
And Mario? Okay.
Raphael.
Raphael, okay. Can you ping
Yes.
the two translators? If they raise their hand, then I can see.
Okay. Maybe. I'll make them co-hosts so they go to the top. Maybe like that.
Okay. Do it. Okay. Okay, now we start, huh? Sanje Zhedong Zoye Zhenong Da Zhenzhou Badong Da Nian Jia Feng Xie Da Ye Jin Zhuang Ye Wei Sun Nong Jie Nong Na Ben Jie San Jie Zhu Ber Shou Sanje Zhedong Zoye Zhenong Da Zhenzhou Badong Da Nian Jia Feng Xie Da Ye Jin Zhuang Ye Wei Sun Nong Jie Nong Na Ben Jie San Jie Zhu Ber Sanje Zhedong Zoye Zhenong Da Zhenzhou Badong Da Nian Jia Feng Xie Da Ye Jin Zhuang Ye Wei Sun Nong Jie Nong Na Ben Jie San Jie Zhu Ber show. Don't you need you to do the changes and the conscience and dragon? China, Ben would in Japan, and those who should do George. Ramjamonson Rogue on the make is on Toron Revision, the venue, touching the way sensation, you cannot chance no. Bande the Marjan Bush and I in Garaben and then you are cutting Chibigo natures on the Coson to you, or that. One time in English.
I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. Practicing giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings.
So we are left at, I think, verse number 54, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Is this the first class of this year?
We had about 6 months ago.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm glad to know that. Yeah. Yeah, I have to come in front. Okay. Yeah, or somebody. Okay. Okay. So everybody welcome for this class, which normally I describe. This is kind of my way of learning Shantideva's texts. So if you don't come, I don't study. So you come together, then I study very well. So thank you so much for coming. So now we are all on this section of meditation. So Buddhism, also Hinduism, very famous. Maybe many people recognized this true religion as to learn meditation. And now if we on the Buddhism, if you look deeper into Buddhist teachings, so where you can find the main kind of teachings on a meditation is one of the great scholar Kamalashila's text. And then also we have Asanga's text too. But then in the Shantideva's, the way of Bodhisattva's life in the meditations section. I think these are the most reliable, profound teachings on meditation. So now it is very important. Normally what we hear about meditation and how these great beings describe a meditation, we also need to see whether we have the right information or not. This is very important. Many of us, also even who study on a meditation, on this kind of a beautiful text, then later what they try to find is a different path of meditation. That's something I always feel very strange. Because either then you have to say this is not the way of doing a meditation, and then, or maybe normally how we try to calm our mind is something to do with the meditation, but it does not complete our meditation. So calming your mind, normally we read Shantideva's help. We don't need Kamalashila's help. We can get so many resources on that. But to tame your mind, which Buddha has described, where just not to have just a mindfulness or having awareness and watching your thoughts, and then not kind of having any kind of distractions, mind very calm. That is something I think not much emphasized in Buddhism here. So more is, if we look at the Buddhist teaching, first of all, what we really need to do our homework before going to Buddha, going to some Lama's teaching, that what you have to come to some kind of the limit of understanding to search for Dharma. It is something that you need to have a quite proper understanding of the layer of the sufferings. Just having one uncomfortable life, bit of a suffering that you described, that which you felt this is the huge suffering of in this life, and then running away from it. Then we try to find a Buddhist teaching. Then you sometimes get lost in this Buddhist world because we don't describe on that way. And many people whom I met, when I explain Buddhism, and then they will come to me like with a different question, not very different, but they say like, okay, samsara Buddha here, and I have this problem. You teach me on this. The real goal of our understanding of the suffering is, which is the pervasive. Once we felt we are under the surveillance, right? Surveillance of this ignorance, misunderstanding, or what we call it, misconception, whatever, norma, wrong view. So that I think necessarily we need to come to the point. So where Buddha really emphasized on the Four Noble Truths, the first one, know the suffering. Know the suffering. That's what he put some kind of a milestone there. Stop here. Now come to realize this. So for this, what is the beauty of this is, if you come to feel like, well, how much I complain. I am kind of complaining in the world full of problem. And then you should try to actually accept the suffering. There you go. You become kind of a very powerful at this moment. Just like, what should I expect from this world? Of course, the problem. Of course, the suffering. And then you try to get it. All the rest of the teaching that you're trying to look for is to actually eliminate the suffering. Normally, what we try to find at Buddha Dharma is, I have so much problem in my life, and then I try to get a teaching. Oh, that feels so good, so relaxing. When I felt so happy. And then it's more like having a little bit of drug. And then you just like, so good, so inspiring. And then once this kind of a power influence is gone, then you try to look for another lama, another teaching. that's sounds like a Dharma tool. So meditation here in this section. Now, as we remember through the sequence of the teaching of the Shantideva style, is here actually it's not just teaching a simple teaching of meditation. It's a teaching towards a Bodhisattva, person who really have a strong understanding of what is bodhicitta, person who is committed to bring others' suffering before your own suffering. I wanted to tame my suffering. Why? Because I wanted to actually give this antidote to others. It looks like you are kind of a research in the research lab. There will be some animals. You check that on yourself, and then you bring the antidote to others. That's a similar attitude here. So this meditation, what we're going to talk about, is not only to tame your mind. Once you feel I can do it, and my problem, others' problem, actually the foundation of this problem is same. Once I get this kind of antidote, then I wanted to give this to antidote to the others. I may the only one to do this. That is called the great compassion. And then after that, slowly, you have a better looking for the becoming Buddha. That's how I think. Before maybe great compassion, there is a wish to become a Buddha, but not strong. But once you have the great compassion, then you will feel like, even I have the antidote. Just me in an ordinary form like this, I cannot do much. And I wanted to be something that every time, everywhere, effortlessly, that I can work for the sentient beings. So then, I think once you have the great compassion, then knocking on how to become Buddha becomes very important. Otherwise, it's similar like us when we recite Sangye Chodong Soyu Shen. Some of you maybe 100% you know what you're saying, but for my case, it's a bit dry. It's more like, yeah, Buddha, yes, yes, I want to become like you. And it's not already strong motivation is there. So now in this section here on the meditation, where we are left off is as a Bodhisattva who is on the path and who really wanted to become a Bodhisattva, who is looking for on the path of meditation. So how these practitioners has to bring the full awareness, how to deal with the distractions. Actually, very similar to the how arhats and the hearers, all this in the Theravada school, it's almost same. Time to time, bodhisattvas, they have little bit of difference because of the bodhicitta. But in that, I think you will notice there. But now where we are left off is the 54. We left this section on the people, which is the Westerners normally criticize his wellness and Shantideva. Dani shadi la gashi redang tawar donango seme pa yirang shinji shani kyogo jimi dus 54.
But it is flesh that I enjoy. If this is what I wish to touch and behold, why do I not desire it in its natural state, devoid of any mind?
So normally, because this is part, the main origins, because it's taught in a monastery full of monks. So then, as a kind of a 100% monk, and then now as a male, the distraction and then attachment is one of the most goes through the feeling, and especially the feeling from towards female, because this could be one of the main obstacles for the monks, and for us, of course, lay people. So it is, I call it, it is kind of a, when it's emergency, then you need some kind of a painkiller, right? Then sometimes you feel like, what just happened, right? Because the pain is so strong, and then you give a painkiller, the pain is, you cannot feel it anymore. This is something needed. Then for this kind of antidote, we are using these techniques. Also, Bodhisattvas are normally not to meditate on this, to see the ugliness of the somebody's body and all this, to stop the attachment. But time to time, they need to. So where we can get this clue is from Shantideva's teaching, where Bodhisattva's life. But normally it's not strongly recommended. Because why, you know? Very simple reason. Because having a huge respect to others, then attachment will be difficult to rise. Having a great compassion, then having a strong attachment is a bit difficult. Because of the object, the other person, the desire, the attachment, what you really normally are so over controlled by these negative emotions. But then as a Bodhisattva, having a huge respect to others, then you really need to think very carefully. But sometimes, maybe some Bodhisattvas need like loses a balance a little bit. Then we need an emergency support. Well, these are the teachings. Because if you normally, let's talk about in general life, we can keep all the Bodhisattva and Arahats on one side and think normally when we say that you love someone very much. But to be honest, normally ordinary life, when we say we love you so much, deeply inside, that is 99% attachment. Like these days, the honey product, how much there is real honey in there? One drop maybe. But the rest is somewhere they're finding something to mix up, right? And sometimes we put a pure on there. So similarly, when we say we love someone so much, it is some mixed with a strong, very strong attachment there. But sometimes we look at this, how we say it, but deep inside, even we have an attachment, we will never say, I have a strong attachment to you. It sounds so bad. It is something for you, not for her. But you wanted to sound that you really have a great respect of that person, saying, I love you. So, Bodhisattva, who has a great respect already to the sentient beings. So it's very difficult to bring this strong attachment like we do. That's my way of thinking. So it's much easier to deal with that because it will be not kind of a stubborn. Remember the quotations of the Geshe Chagapa and Geshe Langri-Tangpa. 8 verses of mind training. I've taken others as like your own kind of guru because of the kindness. And I'm there to serve you. That's something. You're putting someone before you, not yourself before. You put yourself before, then 99% attachment. You're putting others, number one, then here we go. 1%, 99% honey, 1% fake. So this I think for Bodhisattva to deal with attachment would be a little bit easier than the lower schools. But you need to do a little research on that too. So this also this logic. Sometimes when person who really wants to become a Bodhisattva, way to Bodhisattva, not yet Bodhisattva, then to deal with the attachment, sometimes you need to think like this, like how it is taught here. To say where you are really attached to. If you see the person, oh sure, no question, person. When you see the person, you see the body, and then mind. That's it. Then it is a body. 99% it's more like body. It's the appearance. So now the big deal is the appearance. So now you need to say like, well, the appearance and everything, what do I see, the layer of the beauty, but underneath, to be honest, it's a better finishing. It's a really better finishing, but deep inside, same. Like companies, the product is same, but the finishing is different. So now we say like, okay, how much you really attach to this? Because the insight is same. Then you just go like, oh, then not worth putting so much effort there. It's there, isn't it? Mm. So similarly here, meditating on this, it's like a direct teaching. It's not that profound. The real profound is respect, and then the bodhicitta, full respect to the sentient beings, and the devotion to the Buddha, and the commitment to yourself. Those are the great things, the emptiness business, so great. But these sort of things, time to time be needed. Once we feel like we have, once the attachment and the anger grows so strongly, so kind of a something like to last, that kind of, when it is coming, then you need this kind of practice. So that's why I call painkiller. So then it gives you like, well, that's really true. So it gives you relax, mind so relax. So now when you have got the answer, you are asking the question, you are giving the answer. You are not waiting for someone to step in and say like, hey, buddy, where you are attached to body, mind, not like that. So you are talking to yourself. Actually in the cave, isolated place. So then, secondly, mind is very tricky. It might respond to you, no, not only the body, but it's the mind. So then the 55, debe sengang yimbati, redang dawa menu dan, kanshi nu di sheba min, tumi tu di jishicha.
Furthermore, any mind that I may desire is unable to be touched or beheld, and whatever I am able to touch will not be mental. So why indulge in this meaningless copulation?
So, because the attachment really is coming from the appearance directly, but how are you going to hold this position? I'm attached to the mind. That's a bit tricky. It's not a true response. So this is somehow, it is trying to taking back to the position, the first one, to say you are really attached to only to the appearance. So it's a really, sometimes it really gives you a quite powerful teaching. That's why meditating in the graveyard, cemetery, is very strong. That even Hindu, Buddhist, we all do this. even one of my teachers, when he was going through this attachment problem, and then he went to the cemetery in Dharamsala here. And then he did a meditation on death impermanence and especially all the external, the ugliness of the external body. And then even the attachment is not going out. And then he cried out loud. That's powerful. Then he cried out so loud, saying like, I'm lost somewhere. So the protectors, please help me on this. And then automatically, because my teacher loves to debate, and then he start to have this syllogism in his head, and just automatically saying, the person whom you are, the object that you are attached to, it is not capable, it's not suitable to be attached to, because the person whom you are attached to, the object, does not exist. Then it just cuts down deeply, so strongly. So that's it. Visha, can you close the door? Thank you. So actually, that also helped me very much. Because time to time when I have this problem, and I'll always bring this, like seeing the ugliness and everything. Even I have a skeleton. Look, you can see this skeleton there. Even the skeleton looks beautiful to me. Oh, that's so. Sometimes it doesn't work, to be honest. Or when my teacher gave this teaching, I was going through a problem, and then I shared with my teacher. My teacher shared his experience. It helped me a lot. Much stronger than just seeing the ugliness of the body and so on. That is more like deep teaching there. The object of attachment does not exist, period. That's very strong. It sounds like I'm stupid. If this does not exist, then still I say like I'm so attached to that. Like it's some kind of like a children who is attached to the fairy tale. It's like you watch the superhero movies and come out from cinema, and then you are still with that kind of influence. But you try to explain to this person who never watched this movie, not interested. Sounds so stupid. Similar. That's such a great teaching. But through my experience and some of my friends' experience, but if you really not get used to that kind of syllogism, that kind of meditation, you would never like to say this. That's the problem here. I love to hear 1 or 2 times, but normally, nope. I'm so comfortable. So that's why unless you really are not serious to take down the attachment once and all, you will never buy this syllogism or this way of thinking. So this is great, a little bit greater, much better than this way of meditation. But time to time, yes, we really need that. So now on the third one, the 56. Mizang rangshin shinji lu, mido ngotsar miche yi, rani mizang ni yinbar, tobor menjur ngotsar che.
It is not so strange that I do not understand the bodies of others to be of an unclean nature, but it is indeed strange that I do not understand my very own body to be by nature unclean.
Now, whenever it's such a great teaching by Shantideva, when you try to see the ugliness of the other's body, but most best example is on you, your own body. So it's not out of, without respect, you are not complaining, oh, you're ugly, you're bad, not that, actually. Because the attachment is so bad. That attachment is seeing that person in a wrong view. And you have this whole example here that you will feel like it is not the reason. It's very good exercise. I love that person, not because of that appearance. Because I see this in my body, in my this kind of thing, even it's so unpleasant to see. That person does have that. That is not a proper reason that I love that person. So you are taking yourself as the example. And then you are saying, this wouldn't be a pleasant or good enough reason to be attached. Because to be honest, the body and every this ugliness, I will never say it's clean. So now there is a big debate here. Okay, I love this. So when the Buddha taught the teaching on the Four Noble Truth, and then the first one, dukkha, the suffering, then on that aspect, he taught the four aspects. But four aspects. So the first one is impermanence. Second is suffering. And then what was the third one?
Selfless.
Was that
emptiness and selfless?
Yeah, emptiness and selfless. Then in the, I think the opposite of this four aspects of the dukkha is clean, right? The clean, happy. How do you say happy?
Yeah.
Then there's a permanent, and then self. So in there, when it says, in order to understand that our body, a reality of the body, okay, suffering of this body, then you need to understand it is unclean. And then on this, on this debate, Buddhist and non-Buddhist all agree. Then why did Buddha bring this, the four aspects, clean and opposite is unclean? The problem is the non-Buddhist, what would they say is, our body is unclean, I'm clean. Now here we go. Do we feel that? I'm clean. My body is unclean. This is such a gap there. So Buddha is saying, welcome to this samsara. Your body is unclean, you are not clean. But it's really hard to take this. We will say our body is not clean, but I'm clean. We have this attitude very strongly. Of course. So how do you differentiate? Sometimes it looks like the soul, that's Atma. Atma is clean. The guest house is unclean. I'm clean. My guest house is not clean, which is my body. That's our attitude. Buddha says, no. Your body is unclean, you are unclean. So then what will be take away from this? Once you have a quite a good understanding on that, it's more like, I don't want that kind of body. That's it. That's why I say, oh, I wanted to have your body. My body is unclean. My body is temporary. I want your body. It's never itching, dying, which is not the ordinary form like I have. I want to have your body. That's why when we take an initiation, so we look for a new body. That's why, because we have the problem here, this body. So non-Buddhist, we're more like saying, focus on Atma. This is for just temporary. Atma is forever. Just focus on Atma. Then it is complete another story. Too different. Because in the Buddhist, we talk about one identity. What's that? Ngoji. One identity. One identity. Body and the mind. One identity. Identity is entity. No, entity. So then this is how Four Noble Truths way of describing becomes so important. It's not just counting like first one, second one, third one, fourth one, and that's it. I know the Four Noble Truths, not like that. So there's so much things to do. Going to the washroom until going to the bed, until that, it is full reminder to us that we are suffering, we are in the form of suffering. So otherwise, how if we don't focus on this kind of a meditation, similarly, this is more powerful. Looking into your own, how the body functions and how it is. And then once you say, I'm attached to that kind of, actually, I'm really attached to something similar to what me in a little bit better version. Like this is Apple phone, like 16, 17, maybe 19, little bit of differences, same. Similar like that. This is, I think, we should, when meditation on how to reduce attachment. Because the one of the most difficult for us to meditate is cannot calm your mind down, because our mind is so busy. it is so distracted. The distraction is, if we give another name for that, attachment. That's it. So when we have that, we cannot meditate one in a very pleasant way. It's more like you eating a food. You make it like full effort through hours and hours. You made a very delicious dish, okay? And then you have put on a Netflix, enjoying movie, and then you eat the food. When you say I enjoy the food, that's not that actually true. Why? Because your mind is so occupied in this movie, and you didn't really actually appreciate the food because your concentration wasn't there at all. And also studies shows that you are not getting the full nutrition. That's what scientists people say. And now, because it's simple, we don't need any scientific research here. I could say through the way of meditation, you are not enjoying the food. How simple is that? You are enjoying the movie for sure, but you are not enjoying the food. But you might say, oh, my tongue is busy. But that could also we talk about consciousness here. So you have to say, oh, a little bit more salt will be much better. Oh, a little bit of this could be much better. This is how you enjoy your food. But at that time, it's salty or spicy, you just go ahead and you are not really knowing what's going on with your tongue. So similarly here, it is very necessary before the preparation for the meditation, it is should be our commitment to bring down the attachment. So this is the progress. So we went to 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
56. Okay. Well, 3 is enough for today. Quite a long journey to go. Okay, yes, 3 is good. So, time now. Oh, we have 10 minutes. So if someone have a question regarding about that, we'll take on. Anila? Yes, here we go. Can you pass this? Hold on, Anila. I don't know if it works or not. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ah, yeah.
Rinpoche, really in this teaching.
She also have to give this to her.
Yes.
Otherwise, other people will. You need to go together. Sorry, inconvenience. Okay.
Just
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm blind. Rinpoche, early in this teaching, you mentioned the verse from 8 verses of mind training. Hold myself lowest of the low and hold all others most dear and supreme. I think that was the difference. And then is it possible to come to do that without yidong, without seeing first all others as not physically attractive, but yidong, that you just how does one come to do that?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. How do you normally translate? Appealing. Appealing could be better, right? Appealing. That's what drawn to. Okay. Let's stick with the appealing at the moment. So normally when we talk about attractive, it's more we are thinking of. Normally when we see like in the Eastern, we don't have, in the West, you guys have the wow. Sometimes you do it to keep somebody's mind. But that's Bodhisattvas. I really don't know. It's like wow, and then it is really wow or not. But when this is a mixture with actually attachment is there. Why? If you didn't say wow, what will people think about me? If I didn't give this wow mantra, and then I will upset people's feeling. No, not about other people's feeling. That is good enough, the way of thinking. But it's more like, if I don't say this, I will hurt somebody's feeling. And what will people think about me? Isn't it? That's more out there. So if it is like, oh, in order to keep the mind, I will do this. That's period. But it's very, very strange. It's more like, if I don't say this, I will hurt the feeling of others. But then on the top of that, there's strongly, what will they think about me? That becomes one of the strongest eight bodily concerns are there. That's it. It's so mixed up feeling. So right now here, when we talk about this appealing, yidwon in the Tibetan, which is part of the practice, it comes with seeing the kindness of others. It is not just like going like, oh, the appearance, then it goes like, wow, so great. The real great appealing is when you see the quality, when you go to meet His Holiness, and then you go like, wow. Even you go meet a celebrity, like whoever, like Beyonce, okay? You go, wow. Mm-hmm. Same to His Holiness, the Lama, wow. Eh? The difference is there, but let's put it in one box. But now there would be one wow, which someone who is doing a strong practice, and then His Holiness Dalai Lama's teaching, that really changed my way of thinking. Without this, I would be so ordinary. And I'm dealing with my negative emotion. Normally, how I dealing with, it is same. But meeting His Holiness teaching, through his guidance, I could proudly say I become much better. And then with this feeling, looking into His Holiness, picture, image, you are imaginary, His Holiness Dalai Lama, when it becomes so appealing to you. That's what we're talking about here. So this is something we need to bring it when you see the kindness of your parents. Normally, how we do, we wanted to see the kindness, we will see the kindness. We wanted to see the bad side of the other person, we will see the bad side. And then you will balance, and then your way of thinking of that quality, bad quality of others, how that person harmed me, you wanted to how to say, make this priority, then you just like, even he was the one who was so helpful, the whole entire world here, and that person here, you make this kind of on a scale, you will definitely say he is the worst person in my life. Billions of good reasons that he was so kind to me, but one small mistake that you have seen in him, that is a good enough reason to bring that person down. That is another kind of yidmung appealing. What is that? Yidmung, unappealing, unappealing. That's it. This is it. So that's why I think as a practitioner, if that practitioner does not practice on loving kindness of Guru and loving kindness of sentient beings, and even you think you're a practitioner, then there's a big problem. It's more like sometimes people put His Eminence Serkong Rinpoche to me. You putting His Eminence Serkong Rinpoche, I don't become His Eminence, and my realization goes up. Similarly, if you don't have that kind of practice, loving kindness in the holy object, on the holy object, and the sentient beings, and then you say like, oh, I practice emptiness, I practice bodhicitta, I practice meditation, and then you are not touching the ground at all. So this is very important, especially for a person who practice bodhicitta, or most important. Without this, there's no way to generate great compassion. No great compassion, no bodhicitta. And no bodhicitta, and then you dream of becoming Buddha, then it's a very funny Buddha. Okay, so now we stop here today. Okay, thank you very much. So next time when we will meet, I'm really not sure, but maybe I need to go to Delhi, then coming back, and then maybe we can continue. So I'm doing this on Sunday because some of the students are taking the course in Nobulinga, in Assembly. So I'm not comfortable to give a class here because they are putting huge effort there. So this is why it is shifted to Sunday. Okay. So thank you very much. We do the dedication now. You have the mic?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Having thoroughly investigated in accord with all that I have heard, day and night through the four reasonings, mind born of reflection on these topics of contemplation, may this discernment sever all doubts. And the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the grounds and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. I fully dedicate all these virtues to be able to train just like the hero Manjushri, who knows reality, and just like Samantabhadra as well. I fully dedicate all my roots of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by all the gone beyond victorious ones of the 3 times in order to have good conduct. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid.
Okay. Okay, online people, thank you very much.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Grazie Mario, grazie a tutti.
Cena.